So this video is a follow-up to the one that I just did before where I was talking to you about like all the shenanigans with the bank, and I put the picture in the comments just in case anybody wanted to see what I was talking about. Can you believe that TikTok blocked the comment and actually said that it was in violation? So I'll just put it inside this video so that you can see it, where I'm telling you that I have that tablet, the one that like didn't come the first time and I had to reorder it, and then all of the pictures are horizontal, like landscape. It take like in the way that it was taken. You can even see that it's like cut off at like the numbers, so it wouldn't even make sense to send that to like a bank to argue because you can barely see all of the details. Mind you, every single other picture in my tablet is in a vertical position. So I will be putting it right in here so that you can see the picture and you can see that TikTok just try to block the picture that I'm showing you because I am telling you people that this is really happening to me. So this is the picture. I blotted out the parts that are in orange because I don't want it to show like some of the information about like my job. But I don't even care. Like it doesn't show anything worthwhile, but it does show how it's in a landscape position, and this wouldn't make sense for the tablet, at least my tablet, the way I would take a picture. You can see that there's this blue line underneath, and then it cuts off the price, right? You can believe whatever you want, but if it's not real, just look what happened next. So here you can see that for whatever reason, I put it in the comments so that you guys could see it, and the comment was removed, okay? They removed the comment and they removed the actual post that I just put in the video so that you can see it again. So, just shenanigans all around, because if supposedly it's not real, I don't understand why that would be an issue. So I'm putting it so that you guys can see it, because people would not believe me, all of the things that I tell you that happened to me. It's pure straight shenanigans. I have a lot of receipts related to it that it's happening on the Mediterranean. Swear to God, I don't know who I am in the spirit, but I must be important because the targeting is crazy. And I just hope that they are exposed. I don't even know, like, at this point, it's like, who are you going to run to? It's like, I even told my kids, like, who are we going to run to? Ghostbusters? I don't know. Because at the end of the day, it's so diabolical. You can't trust the cops. Can't trust, like, not even the schools, because I've told you what they do. And, like, especially the schools around our way are, like, really up the matrix butt, okay? You can't trust, like, any of these factions, obviously, that work for the system. You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, you just have to really just trust and pray to God, because at this point, you're looking at, like, something that is completely set up on the principle of, like, they control so many things. They could do whatever they really want, but that's how you really see how much of a sham everything is in this reality. You know what I mean? Just wanted to put that out there, because at this point, it's like really like, I feel like I don't even know what else to do. Like, I just surrender everything to God, because there's not really much you can do. If you go to certain offices, if you go to certain places, you got to hope that they're not a bunch of parasitics in there, that they're not little bots, and they're not diabolical, and they're not going to try to like screw you over and continue with the charade and all of this. And you know what I mean? Like, there, like I said, it's also done to discourage you from putting in the effort for helping the ones that actually have souls, because there are some good ones out there. The other day, I'll just give you like a quick rant. Like, I was walking and I was going to the river. I already told you why. And I was going there, to the river, and I was going with my bag and all of this to go collect the water, whatever. And one of the I don't want to call him a sim because he was actually nice, but one of the individuals that was walking in front of me with his wife, they were like walking on the path, and I heard them say something in French like courage. You know what I mean? And like, I don't want to cry, but like, sorry, I had to like hold my breath. Like, I don't want to cry, but like, it's like those little moments that make you have faith in humanity, so that you know that like not everyone is bad, and that you do really have a lot of people who are supporting you and that are on your side despite everything that's going on. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying not to cry, but like it sounds ridiculous, because it's like, you know, it's not to say that other people haven't like supported me and done nice things for me, but in that moment, like there have been like certain parts of my experience in the simulation where like one action or one word from one good souled human human, I guess, have like given me like all the courage to continue to move forward. So I just wanted to tell you that. So when you see that these things are happening and they're happening to you, don't overgeneralize, because I know it's really hard, because they do purposefully send a lot of bots in your direction. They send a lot of, parasitics in your direction. But at the same time, there are a lot of people in this world who are good people. But again, you just have to understand that a lot of them also fear the system. They fear the matrix. This is why I said in another video, sometimes they could be a liability, which is like you can't really like necessarily trust anybody. But, again, it's by their fruits, right? So when you meet someone, you should be at the point, at least me now, that you should be able, or at least your discernment should be able to pick up any nonsense off the back. Anything that starts ringing off red flags, because at the end of the day, in this world, they have to show you certain things. Afterwards, if you participate, if you agree, it's like you already know what the deal is, right? Same thing like when we see things happening in Hollywood and all this. They have to show you their personality, whether it's like smirking or laughing or doing doing something sneaky. Like they have to show you who they are. So the idea is basically just trying your best, even when you're doing just the most mundane tasks, to hope and pray that God is bringing towards you more people who have integrity, who are authentic, and that are people that at least you can trust enough to just do their job and like play the game in the right fashion. Because obviously whatever's going on in this side of the world in the Mediterranean, at least with me, has been between trying to destiny swap, trying to do all sorts of occultish nonsense against me and my family and all of this, but a lot of different things, right? Obviously I'm still here, and if we're still here after all these months and they're still just bothering me, you know that they don't really have that power that they think that they do. Despite all of the nonsense that they do, at the end of the day, they don't have the power that they try to portray that they do. Only God has that power, because if they could have done something to me, they could have done it, and that's it. And we wouldn't be doing this little charade over and over, right? But again, that's the thing about chosen ones and whom, and flame carriers and whom we are the children of God, and we are divinely protected. But the idea is that like I said, the enemy will try to wear you down. So a lot of the conflict has been like, when you go through your dark night of the soul and you're there and you're trying to like overcome the fear, overcome all of those habits of like jumping when people say, no, you have to do this, you have to do, and no, it's now we're at the point, it's like, no, just slow down. I'm going to do this and that, and we'll see in a moment what happens after that. I don't go doing anything the way I used to do it before, kind of like rushing and doing things out of nervousness. And I do pray more, and I do try to be like calm and clear before I make decisions. And like I said, there sometimes like things come up that they like situations like to put you like in a jam, kind of like always like a test to see what you're going to do. Are you going to fall and do this and this and that because of fear and be pressured? Or are you going to just, let go? And at this point, like, I just let go, because after seeing, like I said, what kind of world we live in, and just understanding anyways, really how many things can be manipulated and be under the control of whatever's going on in this world. Like, you really can't be there, like, trying to, like, block everything. So you have to understand that God is a major factor, at least in my life, of, like, blocking a lot of things so that I can even move forward to the degree that I have been able to move forward and pick up every single time that I was at 0 and I went back to 100 and then started again and then started again and then started again. So I don't know. So at least in that respect, I can say that in my life, I have had the privilege to see God's hand move in my life and see a lot of miracles, and I've seen God vindicate me and redeem me. So that's what kind of gives me hope. And I would feel really bad for other people who didn't have those experiences, so that they could also have that faith, because I think that's where a lot of my faith comes from. Because if I didn't have maybe all of those experiences with God, I guess being there for me, let's say, then I would maybe be like really like, oh my gosh, what, but I that's why I have faith, and I can surrender and I can trust. So anyways, I just wanted to give you that little rant. I wanted to show you that, because again, here we go. And nothing, and you can believe whatever you want, but proof's in the pudding.